Hey guys, so I want to do a video today on meditation. Okay. If you watch some of my TikToks, I did do a sort of kind of connection with source meditation, which I may talk about that partly today in this video, but I think what I want to talk today about really is like the fundamentals of meditation. So a lot of people really think that meditation consists of kind of clearing the mind, right? Emptying your mind, and we've heard the phrase empty your mind. And that's pretty hard. I mean, that kind of happens naturally, right? But when we focus on the actual principle of emptying the mind, that implies effort. Okay, everything in life can be a meditation, as many of you may know. We walk around focused into something, in tune, when we're playing an instrument, when we're painting, when we're just completely immersed in some sort of activity or some sort of situation. You're in a meditative state. Why? Because you are accessing something greater than your mind. You're accessing kind of outside of your mind, outside of the box of your own mind. And you simply just become hyper aware, hyper focused, right? So that's what we really do in meditation. And there's no doing really, it's just being or allowing. Because the more effort that you put into something, the less kind of meditative you are. When you are just being, when you're just allowing, that's where really you dive deeper into those states of mind. We have beta, alpha, theta, gamma, or theta, delta, and actually gamma they've discovered to be lower than delta. But these are kind of like what we describe as enlightenment, right? Monks can achieve these very high states of delta and gamma even in their meditations because they're transcending the mind. So, okay, how do we really meditate? What goes into it, right? And for beginners, I would recommend obviously not trying to go an hour or more really in meditation. Try to start around 5 minutes and really focus on something. Focus on your breathing, focus on some external noise, some very small, subtle element that's going around you. Focus on a sense of touch, a sense of feeling in your body. For example, like how it feels to have your foot on the ground, or how it feels to hold your arm on your knee, and kind of just keep focusing on that until you get lost in that, right? You'll find excuse me, you'll find that thoughts will begin to come, right? And that's normal. But what you want to do is not really necessarily resist it, but rather be aware when a thought pulls you away. The thought will pull you away, and then more thoughts will start coming, right? A thought attracts another thought of similar vibration. And when you catch yourself, just be like, oh, it's okay. I caught myself. No big deal. It's just part of the game. We're playing a game. I caught myself, and I'm back to my sense of feeling, whatever I was doing, my breathing or the feeling, whatever it was. And just keep doing that until the periods in between the time you catch yourself gets shorter and shorter and shorter. So you're not being pulled away for longer amounts of time. Now you're being pulled away for very short amounts of time because you are so quick to catch that thought that is now happening in your head, right? So notice how we're not like actively resisting these thoughts. We're allowing them to come in. Yeah, we're inviting them rather. But when they get there, we don't allow them to stay, in a sense, because we don't focus on them, right? When you focus on them, you're giving them energy and you're saying, oh, hey, stay here, right? So we kind of have the doors open in our house on both ends. One, they come in, and one, they leave. But when they come in and we start talking to them, that's when they stay, right? So the easier we can see them leave and the easier we can invite them, the less they actually start coming, because we're not giving them as much attention, as much energy. And then we start to finally feel that sense of peace, that sense of calm, and that sense of empty-mindedness. But the moment you begin to focus on that, the moment you catch yourself being thinking, hey, oh my god, I'm doing it, that's when you just had another thought, and that's kind of when you begin to get pulled away. That's exactly when you begin to get pulled away. But that's kind of when the spiritual ego begins to form, saying, oh, I'm meditating, I am the meditator, I'm doing this, right? And I'm doing a great job. Wow, look at that, I just was able to have no mind for a second. Wow. And it's great to feel excited. It's great to kind of dwell a bit on that, on your achievement in quotation marks, but just know that that's actually the spiritual ego then kicking in, because you're not really doing anything. Like I said, you're being it. You're tapping into that being. I can't even describe it, because no matter what I say, it implies a sense of doing. So it's kind of peeking through the veil, peeking through the illusion, and feeling bigger than your small self, right? So that's kind of what meditation really is. There are different forms, like transcendental meditation, where you can repeat a mantra in your head. Some people say it out loud, some people repeat it in their head, and that can help. That's another form, obviously. That I've done that as well. I've found good results with that as well. That can definitely help, because it's similar to focusing on something, right? You're focusing on breathing, you're focusing on a mantra. But I feel the best is to just let thoughts through, because the meditation that you practice will be the meditation that you lead in real life. We don't meditate to get better at meditating. We meditate to get better at life. Okay, so when you can catch your thoughts in the meditation, that all of a sudden then becomes the easy part. That's the practice round. Okay, when you go out into life and you catch yourself judging others in your head, even, that's the harder part, because you think that's normal, but that's not. You all of a sudden become aware of these thoughts that you've been having about people, and you say, wow, that's actually not how I feel about people. That I don't actually think like that. That's just an illusion. That's the ego. That's some other sense of self that I don't necessarily agree with. What reason am I having for judging that person? Or when you're in a stressful situation and you find yourself reacting, you then start catching yourself and saying, oh wait, that's kind of like the old me, really. I don't want to respond like that, or I don't want to react like that. I'm going to choose to respond rather in a different way, right? And the more you meditate, the easier it'll be, because you have more practice, right? So it's good to really have a routine that you stick to. It'll be hard at first. It'll feel pointless, meaningless, useless, but just know that it is working behind the scenes. It is working on your actual mental body, on your mind. You're not allowing it to be controlled by instantaneous reactions or stimulus outside of you, because you are actively sitting down and giving your mind the full attention that your soul is choosing currently, right? You are allowing your mind to just go crazy and invite all the thoughts that need to come in, tell them to come in, and then pull back, saying, you will not distract me, right? I'm not going to be drawn into these stories. You catch yourself, boom, another one comes in. Takes 15, 20 seconds, oh, you catch yourself again, that you went down some storyline, some timeline that had no meaning to you, right? It was pointless. It had no grounds. So that makes you a lot better in life, because you don't know what can happen in life. Anything can happen all of a sudden. And you start catching these situations, these people that are just pulling on your attention, constantly asking for your attention. You start seeing the patterns in other people that they haven't dealt with their own ego, their own mind. And you start transcending it. You start rising above it. You start separating kind of yourself, putting some space between those situations and not aligning with them anymore vibrationally. Okay. So these are the benefits really that I found from meditation and from calming my own mind. It's easy to get caught up in our own problems and constantly think about them nonstop, thinking that will resolve something. But all it's really doing is it's an attempt to help you feel better about those problems. Because I've never seen someone worry themselves into fixing it, right? It usually just makes it worse. So it's something to be aware of. Give it a try. You know, share a comment below if you found some success with meditating yourself. Would love to learn from all you guys as well. But thank you guys for listening, and take care.